Are you interested in domain investment, or you are thinking of starting your domain investment journey? Domain investing can be a highly profitable business, but avoiding common pitfalls is crucial for success. So in this video, I'm going to share the top 5 mistakes to steer clear of if you want to succeed as a domain investor. Number 1, overpaying for domains. You will need to always research comparable sales, market demand, and niche values for you to know how much you should spend in acquiring a particular domain name. We have many platforms whereby you can buy quality domain names, and among them is all this Dropcatch platform, dropcatch.com. We have snapnames.com and other domain acquisition platforms like them. So you have to know what is the best value for you to put in acquisition, and you need to know what is the best value for you to put in selling your domain name. For example, somebody that buy a domain and decided to price the domain for $10,000, and the domain in real sense only worth $100. You understand? That is overpaying. And this kind of person will be like, I've acquired the domain for the past 2 years and I've not even seen a single offer on the domain. Why? Because the person made the mistake of what? Of overpricing the domain, and perhaps overpaying in acquiring that particular domain. I see some people going on GoDaddy auctions and other auctions trying to acquire domains for $100, $200, believing that when they pay for this domain, they are going to sell it as quick as possible. No, this is absolutely nonsense. Before paying for it, you have to know the market value, you have to know the comparable sales, you have to know how much are you likely going to get when you sell this domain name. Then that will decide how much money should you put in acquiring that particular domain name. Now that takes us to number 2. So the number 2 mistake that most people make when getting started investing in domain names is ignoring trademark issue. When a domain keyword is trademarked, let's use Realtor for example, or let's use Cadillac for example. I acquired a domain recently which has Cadillac is a 2 keyword domain, and it has Cadillac in it, and I realized that the word Cadillac is trademarked. Now, what happens when you acquire a domain that has a trademarked keyword? Number 1 is that you are likely not going to be able to list this domain on domain marketplaces. And when you are unable to list this domain on domain marketplaces, that means you are likely not going to be able to sell this domain name. And when you buy a domain that the keyword is trademarked, then you are likely going to lose the domain due to lawsuits. So the best thing for you to know is to ensure that the domain that you want to buy is not a trademarked domain. And the easiest way to know if your domain is trademarked in this 2024 is to use ChatGPT. You can just paste your domain to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to help you to check if that domain is trademarked. Now, number 3, focusing only on quantity. Many people say that domain name or domain investment is a game of number. So they say domain investment is a game of number. Yeah, domain investment is a game of number, but when you're talking about that number, you have to include quality. Quality. So don't focus only on quantity. When you focus only on quantity, then you are going to be buying as much domain as possible without considering the value of the domain. So a portfolio of a few high value domains is better than hundreds of domains in a portfolio. So somebody that has 30 domains of high quality is better than somebody that has 100 domains with 0 quality, just acquiring domains in numbers without considering the value of that particular domain. For example, somebody that buys domain from auction, looking for quality as much as possible, and somebody that unregistered domain. When I say unregistered domain, I mean somebody that just go on research and buy domain, in the registry prices like $6, $10, without considering the value of the domain, without doing enough research to ensure that the domain that he or she is buying has enough quality. So this person is going to get tired when he or she starts complaining of not making sale. Domain investment, like I said earlier, is a great profitable business, but when you don't take note of these mistakes, then you are going to give up in no time. Now, the last mistake that most people make is the number 5, which is underestimating marketing. Underestimating marketing. There is something we call inbound and outbound sale of a domain name. Inbound and outbound sale of a domain name. You know, inbound is when you buy a domain, you list the domain on as much marketplaces as possible, and somebody come and buy the domain. That is an inbound. Then we have outbound domain sale. And outbound domain sale is when you buy a domain and you do some kind of marketing for the domain, and through that marketing you are able to sell that domain. That is called outbound. So you don't have to depend solely on inbound. You have to market your domain. Don't underestimate marketing. So one of the mistakes that people make is what they underestimate marketing, and they start complaining that I have 1,000 domain in my portfolio and I've not even made any sale. No, don't just sit on that. You have to work. You have to market some of your domain. And one of the systems that one of the strategies that people use to market their domain these days is by posting it on LinkedIn. They post it on forums like Reddit. They post it. They market their domain through outbound, through email outbound, like sending emails to prospective buyer, to companies that are relevant to their domain name. So if you take note of these 5 mistakes and you implement them in your domain investment strategies, then very soon you are going to make your first sale as a domain investment and are going to become a profitable domain investor. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.